Mimi nimelaumiwa sana. I've been accused of over-promising.
I try as much as possible to stay away from politics. However, no matter how much I make it a point to stay away from politics, politics keeps stalking me. It is very hard to keep away from politics when it seems like Kenya has been in perpetual campaign mode since the introduction of multipartyism in 1992. I have seen Kenyans make mistake after mistake when deciding who will hold the highest office in the land. I have thus decided to share my opinion on the incumbent and his opposition. Everything I say in this video is my opinion and should be taken with a truckload of salt. This will be a first in a series of videos highlighting each contender for the Kenyan presidency in 2027. Kenyans should do their own research and vote according to their own findings. Every Kenyan of age has the right to vote for his or her own wrong candidate. Anyways, this video attempts to expose the failures of His Excellency William Ruto as the President of the Republic of Kenya. He has been fucking up to such a high degree, it will be sad if it wasn't so damaging for the future of the nation.
Mimi nimelaumiwa sana. I've been accused of over-promising.
The African Report. Police abductions and killings taking Kenya back to the dark days, says Rights Body, by Victor Abuso. Posted on November 21st, 2024 at 12:17. The Independent National Watchdog's report released Wednesday documents of over 60 deaths, 610 injuries and more than 1,300 arbitrary arrests in the last 5 months alone. The Kenya National Commission on Human Rights warned of a surge in alleged state-sanctioned abductions, arbitrary arrests and torture, which it said has put Kenya in a slippery path of deteriorating human rights record in recent years. This is despite numerous promises from President William Ruto that such cases would not arise under his watch. These police abductions and killings are taking the country back to its dark days. End quote. Adding that the commission has received 74 cases of enforced disappearances in the last 5 months. The National Police Service has been urged to undertake speedy investigations and arraignment of the people involved in the unlawful arrests. In another development, Amnesty International Kenya has accused the state through the police of unleashing unprecedented violence against unarmed demonstrators and caused deaths and injuries. For instance, it said that 3 political activists, Bob Njagi, and brothers Longstone and Hamid Jamil, who were actively on the forefront during the anti-government protests, were arrested in Mlolongo and Kitengela, south of Nairobi on 19th August by masked men believed to be police officers, and released 32 days later due to pressure from activists and the court. After his release, Njagi reported being tortured and driven into an unknown location by his abductors, vowing to sue the state for his ordeal. Meanwhile, lawmaker Yusuf Hussein Ahmed has been missing since 13th September after he was reportedly abducted in Nairobi.
Mimi nimelaumiwa sana. I've been accused.
During Ruto's presidency, the national debt kept going up and up and up. Kenyan debt surpasses shilling 11.5 trillion amid William Ruto's borrowing spree. Kenyan debt now stands at 11.51 trillion Kenya shillings, up from 11.49 trillion in April of 2025. This is according to the latest data published by the Central Bank of Kenya in its weekly bulletin highlighting financial and monetary developments in the country. According to the report, Kenya's external debt rose from 5.33 trillion in April 2025 to 5.33 trillion in May 2025. At the same time, the value of domestic debt increased from 6.16 trillion. Let us look at corruption in His Excellency William Ruto's government. This is from the Africa Report. Kenya report exposes flaws in President Ruto's war on corruption by Victor Abuso, posted February 1st, 2024 at 15:58. A new report in Kenya has linked civil servants to the theft of millions of dollars and showed a rise in ghost workers exposing the flaws in President Ruto's anti-graft war. When President Ruto campaigned for the presidency, he portrayed himself as a leader committed to fighting corruption to promote both himself and his agenda to an electorate already embittered by rampant corruption in Kenya.
And I want to tell you, every promise I made, I intend to keep it.
Crack is cheap.
Once in office, he vowed to curb corruption within his government, repeatedly threatening to clamp down on corrupt officials. Quote, "The corrupt have only three choices. They either relocate to another country, go to jail, or go to heaven," Ruto said multiple times at political gatherings. However, a new report by the Public Service Commission, a public body mandated to manage Kenya's human resources, has exposed fault lines in the president's anti-graft war. The report shows Kenya's public officers looted 605 million Kenya shillings in corrupt deals in government in the financial year ending June 2023. Only 31 reported cases of corruption involving 109 public servants out of the 523 state operations were brought to our attention, PSC said. With 109 cases reported, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission has only charged 34 civil servants, resulting in 4 convictions at the Anti-Corruption Court. The rest of the cases are ongoing. Ghost worker syndrome. It also emerged that almost 20,000 ghost workers are on the government's payroll within various agencies and departments above the approved number of staff required. State House, the official residence of the president, and New Kenya Cooperative Creameries, a state-owned dairy processing company, are at the top of the list of public offices plagued by ghost workers. Kenya has been ranked 126 out of 180 countries, dropping 3 positions from 123 in 2022 in the latest Global Corruption Index published by Transparency International. Well, this keeps getting better and better. Let us now look at Ruto's broken promises.
Yale nilisema kuhusu uchumi wa Kenya. I meant it, and it is happening. Our economy is growing.
Man, what the fuck is you talking about?
What the fuck was that? I'm sorry, man. No, I wasn't thinking about it.
From the Kenya Diaspora Business Network, Ruto's broken promises, how political missteps are devastating Kenyan lives. This was published on July 25th, 2025. Political landscapes are often riddled with promises and assurances that seldom come to fruition, leaving citizens bearing the brunt of unmet expectations. In Kenya, this is becoming increasingly evident under President William Ruto's leadership. The following piece explores the ripple effect of Ruto's missteps and broken promises on the lives of ordinary Kenyans. When William Ruto ascended to the presidency, he carried the hopes and dreams of millions of Kenyans who believed in his vision for change and prosperity. His campaign promises from economic revitalization to improved healthcare positioned him as a beacon of hope for a nation grappling with various challenges. However, as the dust of election fever settled, so did the harsh reality of unmet promises. Economic management is one of the most poignant areas where Ruto's administration has faltered. Kenya, once considered one of the thriving economies in East Africa, is now grappling with inflation, unemployment, and crippling public debt. Kenyans who had looked forward to improved financial conditions find themselves entrapped in a cycle of poverty and despair. The failure to address these economic issues has in large part led to significant suffering. Healthcare is another domain where Ruto's promises have rung hollow. Access to quality healthcare was a significant part of his campaign rhetoric. Yet public hospitals face dire shortages of essential supplies, medical staff, and infrastructure. Families are forced to seek expensive private healthcare options, plunging them further into financial hardship. This scenario is especially dire in rural areas with limited healthcare options. Education experts are raising alarm bells over the deteriorating state of Kenya's education system. Schools are overcrowded, underfunded, and under-resourced, making it challenging for students to receive quality education. Classrooms designed for 30 students now hold up to 80, severely hindering the learning process. Teachers, overwhelmed by the sheer numbers of students, find it impossible to provide individual attention. Despite pledges to increase education funding, schools are grappling with reduced budgets, which affect everything from maintenance to teaching material. The gap between privately funded institutions and public schools continues to widen, creating a disparity in educational outcomes. The lingering socio-economic issues have exacerbated daily struggles and led to widespread disillusionment among Kenyans. Social unrest is becoming increasingly common, with citizens taking to the streets to protest unmet promises and government negligence. This brewing discontent poses a significant risk to national stability. Various sectors, from healthcare workers to teachers and even civil servants, have engaged in strikes to voice their displeasure. These strikes have further strained the already fragile systems, leading to more suffering. It seems that His Excellency William Ruto must not have heard of the saying, "If you are in a hole, stop digging," because it seems everything he does, from directing to police to shoot Kenyans protesters in the legs, is just digging himself deeper and deeper into the hole. And this is why I say, in my humble opinion, in 2027, Ruto must go. Subscribe to the channel, if not...
You're a bitch!